Hi, and welcome to AnimalZone. I'm Arthur von Wiesenberger, and this handsome fellow is Mikey, my adopted pit bull. AnimalZone is the A to Z on everything about adoptable pets. Whether you're looking for a bird, a cat, a dog, or even a tortoise, we've got experts who can share their knowledge and insights. So cuddle up with your favorite critter and join us as we explore the Animal Zone. Today on AnimalZone, we'll be talking with Dr. Lesser, an amazing cardiologist who does wonderful things for animals' hearts. Then our pet psychic, Laura Stinchfield, will be talking with Eli. Later on, Mikey, our adopted pit bull, will be having some acupuncture treatment from Dr. Andy. And finally, we're going to go to the Wags and Whiskers Festival, the largest of its kind in Central California.
Bonjour Alex.
Bonjour Renaud.
Happiness? It's great food prepared the French way.
Chocolate eclair.
What makes you happy?
A touch of Paris.
Without the trip to France. Handcrafted daily in our bakeries, especially for you. Indulge yourself.
Bon appétit.
Please visit Renaud's in Gelston, Santa Barbara, Long Beach, and La Cañada, Flint Ridge.
The Santa Barbara Humane Society is an independent, local, community-based nonprofit with adoptable animals ready to find a forever home today.
At the Santa Barbara Humane Society, we provide low-cost spay and neuter services and vaccinations. It's important for your dogs and cats to get vaccinated to prevent illnesses. And spay and neuter surgeries help prevent unwanted pregnancies and can benefit the health of your pet.
At the Santa Barbara Humane Society, we want you to adopt, not shop.
Today we're in the beautiful Carmel Valley in California, and we're going to the Jangle Hill Farm where there are a bunch of adopted animals. So let's go and check them out. So here we are with Dr. Michael Lesser of Monterey Pet Specialists, and it's so great to be at your beautiful farm here. And it's called Jangle Hill Farm?
Yep, Jangle Hill Farms.
And I gather that's also an adopted creature in your life.
Yep, and our dog who's wandering around here somewhere is named Django, named after a famous jazz musician named Django Reinhardt.
Wow.
And yeah, he's been the face of the farm for a while.
Well, I'm just looking at all the different animals you have here, and it's an incredible environment. But your background is in heart health for animals. Right. And I never realized that animals had heart disease. Right. And dogs especially. Yep. How many dogs have heart disease?
So heart disease is the #1 illness besides cancer in older geriatric canine patients. And so for me, it's mostly it's all I do. So it's a large number of them. And I forget the exact numbers. 20% of older dogs develop heart disease eventually. And then sometimes it was related to the breed. If you look at Cavalier King Charles as a breed, up to 90% of them develop heart disease somewhere in their life.
Wow.
So smaller breeds of dogs like Cavalier King Charles and Malteses and Poodles are a little more prone to valvular heart disease. Dogs like Doberman Pinschers and Great Danes are prone to something called cardiomyopathy, a different type of heart disease. And so what we do as veterinary cardiologists is focus on the diagnosis and treatment of the different types of heart diseases that dogs get, whether that's acquired diseases in older dogs or congenital diseases or things that they're born with.
Well, I know for humans, we've got to watch our diet, trying to cut back on fatty foods and stop smoking, but I don't see many dogs that are smoking. Is there anything you can do as far as keeping them healthy?
Keeping a dog's heart healthy, there isn't diet related to it. Dogs don't get atherosclerosis. They have a lot of HDLs, they don't have problems with cholesterol. Nobody really knows what causes valvular disease in dogs, which is the most common type of heart disease. We believe there certainly is a genetic influence in many breeds of dogs. There's also genetic influence for cardiomyopathy in other breeds. But once you have a dog, a dog who has a good, well-balanced diet, who gets some exercise and stays fit, I mean, that's about the most you can do. If they're going to develop heart disease, they're going to tend to develop heart disease.
What are some of the symptoms when you know your dog has got a problem?
Yeah, so it's a very good question. There was a time, a long time ago, and I remember a long time ago, when we didn't even start thinking about dogs and their heart disease till they became symptomatic. And symptoms are exercise intolerance, labored breathing, and coughing.
So if you got a lazy dog, that might be an indication.
It's hard, right? It's very hard in dogs because dogs lay around all day. They don't go to the gym, right? They don't have to go to work. They don't tell you that they're tired. And as far as labored breathing, dogs pant for lots of different reasons. They have to go out and pee, they're hungry. So labored breathing is hard, so we tend to focus on coughing. But coughing actually occurs very late in the stages of heart disease. So I think the best way to monitor dogs for the earlier onset of heart disease is by having a yearly exam at their veterinary hospital. Because when you take your dog into your veterinary clinic and you have a physical exam, the veterinarian's going to listen to them with a stethoscope. And if they hear a heart murmur, that just tells you there's something going on. And then you can go the next step and find out exactly what that is.
Wow. Now, I also hear that cats can have heart disease.
They can, and they're even more difficult than dogs. So we don't always know about early heart disease in dogs because of those things I mentioned. Cats hide it even better. Sadly, we tend to see cats with heart disease much later because cats really lay around 90% of the day. They certainly aren't listening to what anybody tells them, and often they don't have a heart murmur. So sometimes just going in to see your vet and having them listen to your cat doesn't actually tell you whether or not they really have underlying heart disease or not. So it can be challenging in cats for sure.
With dogs, can you put a pacemaker in them?
You can. So there are interventional types of cardiology we do to help fix certain problems. Pacemakers are used when your dog's heart rate is too slow. So the most common breed are Schnauzers. They develop something called sick sinus syndrome, but we see it in Cocker Spaniels and Dachshunds and other big breeds of dogs as well. And if your heart is going too slow, sometimes medications can't make it go faster. And if I can't make your heart go faster with medication, I can put a little wire attached to a battery, which is what a pacemaker is, and I can make your heart go as fast as I want it to go.
Wow.
So nowadays, pacemakers are more advanced than they were a long, long time ago, and we can make it so that as a dog exercises, it actually increases their heart rate, and when they're resting, the heart rate slows down. So these pacemakers are called rate-responsive pacemakers, and they help in their ability to do their normal daily lives.
Are there any side effects putting one in?
No, there's always potential side effects of surgery. We're taking animals with abnormal electrical systems in their heart and we're putting wires in there and we're connecting batteries to it. So there's always some risk. The success rates are over 90%, 90, 95%. Usually there are older dogs that develop these problems, so the batteries often have a lot of battery life and it's rare for us to replace the battery. We now have the ability to monitor the pacemaker, the health of the actual pacemaker itself. Externally, you just have to place something that looks like it's done via Bluetooth. You put this big sort of thing over their pacemaker and you have it attached to this computer and you can tell how much battery life there is, how it's been working, what's been happening with the dog, all kinds of it. You can reprogram it. So yeah, things have come a long way since we first started.
Do you work on any other kind of animals besides dogs and cats?
90% dogs and cats. I've done some horses since I've moved up to this area. Some arrhythmias or irregular heart rhythms in horses, one horse with congestive heart failure. I do stuff for the avian and exotics clinics, so I do a lot of bird echocardiograms, which I enjoy doing. When I lived in LA, I did some work for the LA Zoo. I helped with a California condor that had congestive heart failure and wasn't able to breed, and we treated his heart failure and he became a breeding condor again.
Wow.
So yeah, I like that stuff. I really enjoy it because it gets me sort of out of the office and doing some different things.
Michael, you are an amazing man, and he's got a big heart talking about heart disease. Thank you so much for having us here today.
My pleasure. Thank you for coming out.
It's just gorgeous. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we've got more Animal Zone. Hey, take a look at these loving animals that you can adopt today. And don't worry, if someone beats you to the shelter, there are plenty more wonderful animals ready to find you and their forever home.
Every morning you could count on it being there with the rise of the sun. We're proud to say we've been there every day with you. The Santa Barbara News Press plans to continue sharing the news of the day with you all through the year and beyond. It's nice to know there are some things you can still count on. The Santa Barbara News Press, serving Santa Barbara since 1855.
Subscribe today. Call 1-800-654-3292.
Imagine, if you will, a zone where animals can talk to humans. Submitted for your amazement, the pet psychic, as we enter the Animal Zone. Well, today we're here with the pet psychic, Laura Stinchfield, and Eli, the miracle donkey. You know, Laura, a while back, you've been talking with Eli in earlier seasons of the show, and you introduced us to Dr. Sherry Gaber, who is an amazing chiropractor, and she worked on a dog and also a cat. So we asked her to come and see if she could help Eli, because Eli was lying on the ground. He wasn't getting up anymore. The injuries that he'd suffered a while back were obviously manifesting themselves again. And we were really worried that maybe, we were going to lose him.
Right.
And she came and started working on his alignment, and worked on his back and his neck, and even in just maybe 20 minutes, she had him back up, and he started running around.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
It was amazing.
Yeah, was he running around that day that she worked on
Right
him?
afterwards.
Oh my gosh, so you saw instantaneous results.
Instantaneous. Now she
Wow.
said he's gonna get better,
Yeah.
and then he's gonna slide back a little bit,
Right.
and I just have to keep coming. And she said in 6 months it's going to be a lot better than it is today.
Yeah.
So we're about 3 months into the treatment program, and he's definitely up and around. I don't see him lying down anymore in the middle of the day.
Right.
And he seems to be pretty happy.
He does. I think that's an amazing thing about chiropractic work and Sherry, that it really can enhance their quality of life. And some people are even on the verge of putting their animals down.
Yeah.
Because they can't get up or something's going on with them, and sometimes you just get them adjusted and you see this whole new lease on life.
That was what was so worrisome, because of course with Eli,
Yeah,
he
if they
went
can't get up or they're just lying down all the time, you think, what's their quality of life?
Right.
So, Eli, what do you think? I mean, do you want to say what you think about Sherry, and what do you think about what Sherry did for you? Sherry was your good friend? Oh, he said that she just came over to him and he just knew she knew what she was doing, like a veterinarian. Yeah, I know, she's all business, that Sherry, right?
And he's seen a lot of veterinarians over the years.
He says he was a little bit scared at first. Why were you scared? Because I thought, what is she gonna do to me? Yeah, right? And then what happened? He said that she manipulated his body and she twisted you around. Well, maybe you were twisted up here and she untwisted you. He said that when she did that, he felt bright-eyed immediately.
Wow.
Which is true, because it does increase the blood flow to the brain, so I could see that. And then he said when he was running around, he was like, my legs are working, my legs are working. He says that he feels like every animal should get adjusted. Do you know what, Eli? I agree with you, because I think it can be so helpful. I agree. Oh, he said if you're scared, if a chiropractor will hurt your animal, you have to like that person. Oh, he said that he was thinking that you guys could get goats. I don't know.
Playmates. He wants some playmates,
You want
huh?
playmate? He thinks it would be fun to have goats.
Well, how about a cookie instead? Oh, Laura, it's so great to have you here. Thank you so much. And Eli thanks you too, I'm sure, because he loves seeing you. And we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, there's going to be more Animal Zone. Hey, take a look at these loving animals that you can adopt today. And don't worry, if someone beats you to the shelter, there are plenty more wonderful animals ready to find you and their forever home.
Care for Paws was started in 2009 with the goal to reduce pet overpopulation and keep animals out of shelters, and also to ensure that pets can stay with their owners for life. We, from the get-go, established a free spay and neuter program that would help low-income pet owners fix their pets. So we provide shots, microchips, dewormer, flea treatment. We also have a veterinary intervention program. It's a way for us to help improve the quality of life for the animal as well for the owner, because when an animal suffers in the family, so does the rest of the family.
Well, I don't know who's more excited about this episode, because Mikey is going to be getting something that he has loved because it's really helped him. Dr. Andy, you've helped him so much. He was, as you know, very badly injured. And through acupuncture, he's like walking like a normal dog. He got rid of his limp and all the pain that he seemed to be having. And who knew that acupuncture on a dog could even work? Is this something new?
It is decidedly not new. It's been going on for probably 3,000 years.
Wow.
Yep. Back in China is where this got developed.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, war horses were extremely popular. And so veterinary acupuncture for the horses evolved right alongside medicine for people.
I see.
Yep.
And now in America, are there many acupuncturists for animals?
It's increasing all the time.
And does it get to different species? Like, are there dog acupuncturists and then cat ones? I mean, can't even imagine putting a needle into a cat.
So veterinarians are certified to do acupuncture on animals, and you can kind of zone your way into doing large animals, small animals, or both with acupuncture. So you can do all animals with acupuncture.
Now, I've noticed with Mikey, we've been doing this, off and on over the past couple of years, and it's about a half an hour treatment generally, isn't that about right?
Yep.
And what actually happens? I mean, I've seen the needles, and actually, are you ready, Mikey? Maybe we can show how this works. But I mean, obviously you want him to be nice and calm, and he's getting not calm after all the excitement. He loves Dr. Andy. When he comes here, this is the party of the day, right?
He's my kind of dog.
Yeah, and you have a pit bull, don't you?
I do. I have a pit bull mix, yep.
Oh, they're the best. We love you. But when you start working on him, you obviously want him to lie down and relax. You don't want to move around because those needles are needles.
They can be a little bit wiggly.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't want to get up and get down and get up and get down or walk around.
Right. All right, well, why don't we show the folks how it works?
Okay.
Are you ready, Mikey? Oh, look here.
He's going to roll for belly rubs.
I'm ready for anything that's involving attention.
Yep, so we use these needles.
Yeah.
They're individually sterilized needles, the same ones you'd use for people.
Mm-hmm.
They come in different sizes and different widths.
And when you work on an animal like this, I mean, how long does it take to actually see results? I mean, I can tell you what happened with Mikey, but I'm wondering how it is out there in the field.
Yeah, so acute injuries like sprains or ligament pulls, things like that will respond quicker. A couple of sessions can dramatically change that situation. More degenerative problems like arthritis in a joint that's been long-standing or chronic can take 6 to 8 sessions before you really see improvement.
Wow. But it is an alternative to standard medication and surgery, right?
It's an alternative, and it complements it. So it's not one or the other, it could be both.
I see, wow.
You know, with this part of it I like because there's no side effects involved.
Mm-hmm.
And you're really out nothing by trying.
Right. And for them, it doesn't hurt them at all, right? I mean,
it is, quote, painless, unquote, which means that it isn't a big sting going in, but it's a little pinch. And some dogs that are really sensitive could feel it and react a little bit. And in that case, I would back off the needle a little bit.
Gotcha.
So,
well, we'll see what happens. He seems to be, oh, look at that. He hardly, isn't that interesting? Yeah. I mean, it's like a little, just like a little tiny bee sting, but not too bad, huh? Oh, he seems to be pretty happy with it. He knows his routine now.
Good boy, Mikey.
There we go, yeah. So what is it, now it's going into the meridians, is that how this works?
Yeah, it accesses meridians or channels in the body. There's 14 of these meridians, major ones that run in the body, and the acupoints are like little on-ramps to the meridian freeways at which we're trying to release stagnant or blocked energy. That would be more of an oriental medical viewpoint of what's going on. And so by releasing this energy, the energy flows smoother, allowing the body to harmonize and heal these areas to the best of its ability.
Where does one learn how to do this?
I learned at the Chi Institute of Oriental Medicine in Florida, which is an organization that trains veterinarians to be a certified veterinary acupuncturist. There's a couple other ones that due to International Veterinary Acupuncture Society is one of them. So they take vets that already know about physiology and pathology and the course of disease and train them in Oriental medicine how to use acupuncture to heal.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I mean, just look how relaxed he's getting. He knows that this is doing good for him. And we've watched the results, which have been just amazing.
Good job, thank you.
It's okay, Mikey. Yeah, you're doing good. So you mostly work on dogs. Have you worked on any other animals?
I have. I've worked on dogs and cats are the mainstay of my job, but I've done, probably the weirdest one would be a pet opossum.
Oh, wow.
That my clients had rescued and had a fused knee joint. So almost like a peg leg possum.
Really?
Yep.
And did it help?
It did seem to help, but his skin was really hard to get the needles into. So I had to use, these are Japanese needles. I had to use some Chinese needles, which are a little more hardcore to get through the thicker skin.
Wow, fascinating. Now I know that in the case of Eli, our donkey, he had some acupuncture done when he was having his spinal cord injury up at the Alamo Pintado Equine Center. And that seemed to be part of what helped him, although ultimately it was the stem cells. So it's interesting that one can try different things, and sometimes maybe the combination of different things is what cures a pet. Right? Right.
Yeah, some people like to try one thing at a time to see what's going to work. And another theory is of shotgun theory, where you try different things, a combination, just get them better. And then you can start subtracting things, you know, if you really wanted to scientifically narrow down what's working. For me, the most important thing is just getting them better. So I'm more of I like the complementary philosophy, you know, rather than just one or the other.
Right, right. So if people want to explore finding an acupuncturist for them, you're available, right? And you're in the Central California area?
Yeah, Santa Barbara area.
And so people can look you up. Are you on the web? Do you have a website?
Yep.
What's that?
It's vetacu.com.
Oh, great. And then if they're in other parts of the country, should they get in touch with their local veterinarian or clinic?
That's the best way to do it. Most of the vets know that there are vets like me. You can also just do a Google search, or you could look into the schools, like the Chi Institute where I graduated would list me and other certified veterinary acupuncturists. So you could get somebody that's authentic, who's certified to do this correctly.
And who certifies veterinarians that do acupuncture?
That is these schools. The IVIS, or the International Veterinary Acupuncture Society, or Chi Institute, will put you through these courses, and it's pretty in-depth training.
Right.
To take a veterinarian and turn them into a certified veterinary acupuncturist.
Wow. Mikey, you are such a lucky dog. You're lucky that we got Dr. Andy here, and you're lucky that those don't seem to hurt.
Yeah, he's doing great.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on AnimalZone.
Absolutely.
And Mikey says thank you. And I say we'll be right back after these words.
My grandfather taught me about the beauty of the rugs. Each one tells a story. Story about the person who wove it, the person who bought it, the person who inherits it, the person who treasures it. It's amazing how simply looking at an object can bring you back to a different place and time, or remind you of someone you love. At Santa Barbara Design Center, we want to help you find a rug that will travel through time with your family for generations to come. Visit us at 410 Olive Street and find your treasure today.
The Santa Barbara County Animal Care Foundation is dedicated to saving animals' lives, but we need your help to continue this critical work. SBCACF provides year-round medical and surgical care so that abandoned, homeless, or abused animals receive the best second chance at finding a loving home.
No animal is turned away from surgical care.
To learn more and assist us in keeping that pledge, visit sbcanimalcare.org and make a donation today.
If they can be saved,
we want to save them.
We're here with Erica Kaye of one Dane at a time. And my gosh, I couldn't believe it. There are giant Great Danes here that are adoptable.
Yeah.
Who knew you could even find a Great Dane to adopt? I mean, they're a very, very valuable breed, aren't they?
Right, they are. But people don't quite always know what they're getting themselves into when they get one as a puppy.
Is it because they grow up and become so big?
They do. They knock over kids. They knock over adults. They eat a lot. They cost a lot to vet. Their tails wag and knock things over. And then people don't always want to train little puppies because they're so cute. And so they don't. And then they get big and they're still acting like puppies. And so people are like, nope.
Now, sometimes when you see these large animals, you get kind of scared too, because maybe they might be a little bit ferocious, but are
Right.
Great Danes?
No, I mean, I think every breed, even your golden retrievers have the predisposition, have the ability to be, aggressive, quote unquote. But they're just, they are, most of them are true to their, to their breed as gentle giants. And, it really is all about the training and starting early. Socialization, key.
Are they good with other pets? Like if you already have a dog or a cat at home?
Yeah, they are. I mean, sometimes it takes a little adjustment. Some of them just aren't, just like people, just like some people aren't good with, other people, or some people aren't great with, kids or dogs or cats, but most of them are. I mean, these have adjusted to the little one, and she rules the roost.
Okay, I want to go and get up close and personal with these two. Let's go take a look and see what they're doing. So I'm looking at this beautiful, is it almost an albino Great Dane?
Right. It's in Danes it's actually called double merle. Albino is the absence of color, and see how he has spots?
Yeah.
So this is actually the result of breeding a dog like this with another dog with spots.
Oh,
and so it causes this.
Wow. So there's no Dalmatian going on here.
There's no Dalmatian.
Because I like to connect the dots.
Yeah, right.
And how old is this one?
So they're both a month apart. So they're about a month and a half. I mean, a year and a half, sorry.
A year and a half.
A year and a half, yeah.
Old.
They're a month apart.
And how long does a Great Dane usually last?
Well, my one at home, this guy, the guy that inspired it all, he's going to be 12 next week.
Wow.
So yeah, it really all, depends on, their genetics and their lifestyle and exercise and a little bit of everything, but just like every dog.
Yeah. And this little one.
And she's the boss.
Does she think she's a Great Dane?
Yeah, she does.
Hi, sweetheart.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Susie Q.
Susie Q.
She's from the Ojai Humane Society.
Wow. So if people want to know more about your organization and how to get hold of you, what's the best way?
Oh yeah, our Facebook page or www.onedaneatatime.org. So, we have a website. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. One Dane at a time.
Fantastic. Erica, thank you so much, and good luck with Wags and Whiskers. Hope you get them all adopted.
Oh, and she wants to give a hug.
Aww.
There she goes. She wants to give a hug.
We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Kerry Burns, and I'm the Executive Director for the Santa Barbara Humane Society. And what we want you to know is that Humane Societies are local to each community. No one is associated with the National Humane Society. So when you donate or you adopt, know that everything that you touch is right there in your own backyard. We want you to donate, volunteer, and adopt. For more information, visit sbhumanesociety.org.
Weren't there some amazing animals and guests? You who adopt animals from shelters, you are the true heroes. If you want to see more about AnimalZone and other things, check out our website, animalzone.org, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Never was a friend so true, never was a friend like you. Canine, you're my best friend. Canine of mine, friend for all time. So glad you're my best friend. Through thick and thin, we'll see things through. Canine of mine, so true. Did I find you or did you find me? Either way, it's still serendipity. When I saw you, it was plain to see you weren't just another lassie wannabe. Oh, canine of mine, friend for all time. I'm so glad you're my best friend.